remarks today by thanking Joanne Lyles and Christian Haerter and really the entire community of Sag Harbor for the warm welcome extended to my family, my wife Katrine, my son Carl, my daughter Charlotte, and the Marines that are my family too. This is clearly a special place, a place that represents the best in America. The battalion colors that you see, no matter where you're standing, they represent 1,600 Marines and sailors that fought with Jordan in Iraq. Those colors were first unfurled on 20 November 1917 as the battalion was put into service for World War I. Those colors have landed on Iwo Jima, and they've fought in almost every conflict since, most notably in the Vietnam War. The battalion moniker, the Walking Dead, was earned in Vietnam. Ho Chi Minh himself singled out this battalion on a radio address. He named this battalion Do Bai Chi, the Walking Dead. He was speaking of the Marines in the valley. His implication was that the Marines were dead, they just didn't know it yet. What he didn't realize was shortly that would become the only thing the Marines would allow themselves to be called. They rallied around that name. This battalion has a rich legacy from that conflict. After Vietnam, the Walking Dead moved along like most other battalions. She landed in Somalia and was deactivated shortly thereafter. She had gone nearly 2 decades without a combat casualty and lay dormant for 13 years during the peace of the 90s. The Commandant of the Marine Corps reactivated the Walking Dead on 17 April 2007 as part of our nation's expansion to meet increased requirements abroad. This, of course, is where Jordan and I intersect. I was sleeping, as many of us were, the morning of 22 April. I awoke to the distant sound of a 2,000-pound truck bomb. I was too far away, of course, to hear the gunfire that met the truck and stopped it before it posed mortal danger to dozens of Marines, dozens of Iraqi police, and the hundreds of Iraqi civilians that were moving around in what was otherwise a normal morning rush hour. I suspect that everyone here already knows of Jordan's bravery and the direct impact he had on a few dozen souls that were with him at the Joint Security Station Nasser on 22 April. What you may not know is the tremendous effect that Jordan, his family, and this community had on the hundreds of Marines that remained in harm's way. We watched Jordan's funeral through pictures taken from 1-9 veterans that drove up here. Letters from Sag Harbor and pictures of Jordan were in every nook and cranny of every bombed-out building and every rubbled place that we have Marines sleeping. We watched this community extend honor to one of your sons that made the rest of us proud to serve. I speak on behalf of the 1st Battalion, 9th Marines when I say that the long months in Ramadi, Iraq were made immeasurably more meaningful by the actions of Jordan, Christian, Joanne, and Sag Harbor. I'm privileged to belong to a small group of Americans that volunteered to serve the nation while at war. While we mourn the unwritten chapters in Jordan's life, we celebrate how vividly he lived, how magnificently he represented his family, and how bravely he fought. Semper Fidelis.